Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mike Nierychlo Online, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. In this case, beer, hot rods, and real estate. So, joining me on today's show, and welcome here, Jill. It's so nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Joining me in the garage. Jill Sinclair, she's the Hot Rod Realtor. Is that what you call yourself? Why don't you tell everybody what the Hot Rod Realtor is all about?
Okay, I'm the real estate specialist in the Lower Mainland that also loves hot rods. So I love doing my garage tours, the wine tours, the beer tours, all that kind of fun stuff, and I also love selling houses.
Awesome. So how long have you been in it for, doing the real estate thing? How long have you loved, I mean, you pulled up in a beautiful car.
Thank you, thank you. It was a beautiful sunny day, as you had mentioned earlier. I've been in real estate for about 3 years, and this is my career for life. I absolutely adore it. I love it. I love meeting people, and I just love the whole experience.
Now, is that what it's all about for you with real estate? Is that why you love it? It sounds to me like you're a people person. You just love hanging out with people, and I would assume that's why you enjoy real estate.
Absolutely, it is, because you get to know people and you get to know their desires and their wants and their needs, and most of my clients become really good friends, so that I think says a lot.
For sure. Well, I mean, that's what the show is all about, and I've often said it before. Two things I stand by. If you like it, drink it, and it doesn't matter what you're drinking, it's who you're drinking it with. It's all about the people. You could be drinking the worst beer you ever had, the worst wine. If the right people are there, who cares? Just enjoy it, enjoy the company of your friends.
Absolutely.
As long as it's not gone bad. Or something bad. Anyway, so we're talking hot rods. It's a beautiful day outside, so Jill and I figured we'd taste some beer together. So, finally coming in bottle. These used to be only available on can. On tap, actually Nando's Chicken, if you've ever been there, has this on tap. It's the Russell Cream Ale, but it shows itself so much better in bottle. So
reminds me of an old root beer bottle or something.
It does. It looks a lot like a root beer bottle. They've got some nice marketing. So, actually, I'm so used to pouring wine, it gets all, beer doesn't pour the same. It gets a good head on it like that. That one's for you, my dear.
And that's, apparently we don't want that. We don't need to swirl it.
No,
How do we taste it?
We can swirl beer. It doesn't get it going as much as wine, but... So first thing you want to do, a beer, I mean, is very similar to wine. It puts off a really nice aroma. It's got so many different flavors. A lot of people we just down the beer, but if you actually take the time to really dig into it a little bit, there's a lot going on. So is there anything you can smell on the Russell Cream Ale? Put you on the spot for a second.
Oh my gosh, it's very full. It's almost like there's a little hint of a honey or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what do you smell? Like malt, like really fresh malt.
Yes.
It's almost like those little kid malt snacks you get around. Those malt balls you have at Easter.
But not as sweet.
No,
definitely
not as sweet, but definitely like malt. Like the honey you said, I like that. It's got a little bit of citrus or something too. Kind of something refreshing in there.
It absolutely is, yeah.
And we get to taste it. That's the best part. See, this beer, I like it. It's a nice, soft. It's not a heavy beer. It's a cream beer. It's a bit. It's got more body to it, but it's refreshing.
It is. It's very refreshing.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It's a nice beer. It's clean. And yeah, even that little bit of citrus comes through. That's the refreshing part of it.
Absolutely, that's what it is.
Kind of reminds me of like orange peel or something like that, ever so slightly. And and the malt, and it's well balanced. There's nothing like the hops aren't coming through and just super bitter or anything like that.
It's lovely.
So that's a nice fun beer for a good weekend, good afternoon. The weekend's just coming up, so look for that one if you're looking for something refreshing. Now we're using the same glasses. This is a very unfortunate thing to do, but I got more upstairs. Let's get bucket. So the second one, I haven't tried this one yet, and I've heard amazing, beautiful things about it. I'm a huge stout fan. I like a big, dark, heavy beer.
What does stout mean compared to, say, an ale or something?
Stout is, that's a good question. You're putting me on the spot now.
Oh, sorry.
Stout is it's a much fuller bodied beer. There's a few different making processes that come with it. It has a lot more complexities. A much more savory beer as opposed to just a light kind of a citrusy or acidic beer. It's got a lot more depth and character.
It's almost like the layering of the tongue or something.
Exactly, something like that. So we've got the Brooklyn Brewery Black Chocolate Stout. And I've heard a lot of beautiful things about this one from different people, so I'm excited to try it.
Well, it sounds fabulous.
Black chocolate stout. Well, you can see the color in that one right away. It's a lot different than the Russell.
Very different.
Yeah, I mean, it looks. You know what it looks like? It looks like coffee.
Yeah.
Basically, it looks like coffee. It's a dark, fresh ground coffee brown. And it's almost a bit thick in the glass. It's got the characteristics of a stout, say like Guinness or something like that. Is an example of a stout everybody knows. Oh, so what do we smell here?
Well, we were talking about Cuba earlier, and somehow this is reminding me of Cuba and cigars and...
I like that. I like that description. Yeah, you get a little bit of almost like tobacco leaf or something. Almost like there's a bit of leather or something too. I would say leather, and I get some like vanilla. It's all these characteristics that we're smelling though, they're very deep. Like none of them are just like bright, and on top they're very deep and like savory.
But it's not too heavy though. That's the thing, which is interesting because there's so much inside of it that the more you smell it, the more you.
Actually, judging by the color too, and it has almost a slight like coffee bean on the nose or something like that too.
Oh, very.
That's savory.
Very.
That's got a lot. I'm gonna give this one another one.
I'm tasting the black chocolate there.
There's a lot of like big dark cocoa bean or dark chocolate, a hint of vanilla. It's got a lot of licorice. Almost like, have you ever had Dutch candies?
Yes.
Like they have the salted licorices and things like that. It reminds me a lot of that. Almost like there's some cold coffee or something like that in here too, but
absolutely,
it's very extremely savory.
It is. So what, with your palate, it's so distinguished, you get to know so many different flavors. What would you eat with this?
I mean, what? To me,
that would really go nicely.
I wouldn't eat a lot with this.
Yeah. This
is almost a meal in itself. It's such a big beer. It's got so much depth and layers and character. Yeah. I'd almost have it in a, you can't call it a meal in itself because it's too much alcohol.
Because that's just wrong.
Yeah, but it's so savory and
maybe
big.
with some white cheese or something?
You could have it with some white cheese, something like that, something lighter. You don't want anything it's going to overpower a lot, so you don't want something that's going to stand up to it. This would be, to me, honestly, amazing in a lower profile way with a burger. A big fat burger would go really nice. But yeah, some light cheese could work. Possibly some fairly strong salami or something meaty could work well.
That would be perfect, yeah.
Something like that too, but...
Well, I was thinking too, salmon, BC salmon.
That could work,
Maybe some...
It'd have to be a very well-seasoned salmon.
Yeah.
Something that's going to stand up to this.
Yeah.
But as far as it goes...
Wow.
And this is one of those beers, I mean, it's chilled right now. But I would allow this to sit in my glass for like an hour and just enjoy it. It's not something you just down, it's a sipper. It's something that's got so much character and something that just keeps going. So that's a nice one as well. I like that.
So where's that one from?
Brooklyn Brewery, I believe. Judging by Brooklyn Brewery, someone.
As in the States?
Yeah, as in the States.
Really? Interesting.
But, yeah, there we go. In Texas Ale.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's random. So if you look this one up as well, I'm sure that soon they got a website, but product of the USA.
Out of the two of them, I do prefer the cream ale. It's just a different kind of taste.
Well, it's a refreshing beer as opposed to a big, heavy, almost meal in a glass beer. So there's a couple beer to look for this weekend if you're out and about and just want to have something nice for a refreshing sip or a meal in a glass. So Jill, thanks so much for coming today. How can people get in touch with you if they want to sell their house or if they want to just talk cars or both?
Thank you. At hotrodrealtor.ca, and all my contact information's on there, and you can also have a link to my jillsinclair.com website. Okay, excellent. And I'll have Jill's link just below the video. You can click on it, take it directly to her site. Jill does also, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, she does a similar video blog style, and she interviews car guys and real estate guys and guys who are into both, and she does a really nice job with it as well. I'm going to make an appearance on her show in the near future too, so look for that. All right. So thanks so much for coming today, Jill. It was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, honey bun.
Yeah, and thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you on the next episode.